Today we are going to cover what is Ingress in Kubernetes, then what is Helm, then install Helm chart, and then setting up Nginx Ingress Controller. So here first we will understand what is Ingress in Kubernetes. So Ingress, it is a Kubernetes object which allows access to your Kubernetes services from outside our external. Using Ingress, we can expose pods port like 80.443 from outside network of Kubernetes over internet. So here we have the different types of ingress controller, which is used on Kubernetes, like Nginx, AWS ALB, Traffic, Azure Application Gateway as a Ingress, HA Proxy, Contour, Istio, and mostly used Ingress are Nginx, then AWS ALB, Traffic, Azure. So here we will see the difference between Traffic and Nginx. So Traffic is an open source and most popular edge router ingress controller, which is used to expose service from outside. Traffic Ingress Controller also provide SSL termination, adding secret HTTPS to reverse proxy to expose REST API and load balancing. Then Traffic is used with our existing infrastructure like Kubernetes, Docker Swarm, Azure ECS, Rancher, Heroka, Azure Service Fabric, like this one. Then if we compare between Traffic vs Ingress, Traffic and Nginx both are open source tool. Nginx Ingress Controller is free and open source, high performance proxy web server. Companies like Spotify, Uber, Airbnb are using Nginx Ingress Controller to expose their microservice, and companies like Doc Planner, Video, and Containost using Traffic Ingress Controller. So depend upon the requirement, we can use Ingress. Then these are the picture of Traffic Ingress. And you can visit to official site Nginx. So today we are going to cover how to set up Nginx Ingress Controller. You can visit to official site. Here you will get how Nginx Ingress Controller works. So here, if you see here, like here is the end user, and here we have the Nginx Ingress Controller. Here we have the different type of services, service 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Kubernetes cluster. So here in a service, we have the deployment, then replica set, pod contains, container app. Okay. And all these here we create a Nginx Ingress and Nginx resource. There are two components here we configure once we install Ingress Controller. Then this cluster can be set up on EKS, Azure, Rancher, Kubernetes, Red Hat, OpenShift, like this one they have given example. Then here is given why use Nginx Ingress Controller. There, these are the feature and these teams are used. Then we can domain level ingress load balancing, routing level, we can add routes. Then we can, so there are already we have seen there are two ways to expose our microservice routing. So path-based routing and domain-based routing. So to read more about, you can visit to this Nginx official site. And if you for installation, there are different ways to install Nginx Ingress Controller. So this is the official site. So here we are going to install Nginx Ingress Controller using Helm. So we will understand what is Helm. If we go official site of Helm, more detail on Helm we are going to see. Just now you can understand basic concept of Helm. So what is Helm? So Helm is nothing but is just a package manager. It's just package manager like in Ubuntu we have the apt package manager. Then CentOS or Red Hat we have the yum package manager. So Helm is also a package manager. Or cloud native application. CM. And Helm contains chart that we are going to see, and chart contains YMLs. So if we go here and we use this keyword Helm chart. So chart is nothing but chart contains YMLs. And all these chart we can assign Helm create, and if you give any chart name, okay, Java app like this one, so it will create all the ready-made YMLs like deployment, service, secret, load balancer, everything it will create, and you can deploy all these YML in one command using Helm deploy like this one. So this is a simple concept. So first, there are 2-3 uses. First is Helm is a package manager. Second, Helm has charts, and you using Helm, we can roll out and roll back microservices. Version using revision number. Okay, that we are going to see. So here are the common 3 usage of Helm. So in this scenario, while setting up Nginx Ingress Controller, we are going to install Nginx Ingress Controller using Helm. Like we use to install any package on Ubuntu, we can use apt. Okay, apt command sudo apt install. Like suppose if I want to install Java or Nginx, install like Nginx. Okay, we are installing here using apt. Same like here we can use command same way. But Helm has 2 more advanced features. Okay. So this we are going to see later in a pipeline. So just for now, just keep remember this as a package manager, and you can read about more on Helm's official site. So here we have the doc. So here they have given installation instruction. Then next concept is why we need Ingress. And already we have seen Kubernetes has inbuilt service type like node port, cluster IP, then load balancer. So here, for example, if we have the 10 microservice and we have to expose using this service type, then here we have to maintain port number. Here we need 10 public IP to expose microservice. And here we need 10 number of load balancers. And requirement is there. Requirement, you have the 10 microservice and you want to expose using 80 for 3 port numbers. So this is the requirement. So in that case, if you select this node port, you have to maintain port numbers. Then IP also in cluster if you select here node port and cluster, we need port 10 port numbers and 10 cluster IPs. Then we have the solution load balancer, another solution load balancer. Here also we have to maintain 10 load balancer. So this solution is not feasible. So then the new concept came, Nginx Ingress. So here we can expose all the microservice using port 880 and 443. And here we can use only one load balancer. Only one load balancer. We can create Ingress resource. There we can map 80 and 443 for all 10 microservices. So, and if you see diagrammatically, here we have the Ingress Controller service pod. Then let me check another diagram. See here. So if we install on any cloud provider, so here we set up Ingress Controller. And here we have to create Ingress resource. So Ingress resource is nothing but it is just a YML which contains your service names and port numbers. Okay, here we have to write a YMLs which contains your Ingress name, Ingress provider, API version, Ingress provider, your service names, then port numbers. Then when we set up Ingress Controller, it has the one load balancer assigned by the cloud provider, any cloud provider. So here we are setting up the on AWS. So AWS will assign one load balancer to Ingress Controller. So Ingress Controller reads the Ingress resource file. Okay. Now according to Ingress resource file, it exposes your microservice to user via load balancer. And Ingress resource contains service name, and service name contains the reference of deployment. Okay, deployment. So like this one. So you got clear about theory. So what is Helm? What is Ingress? Why we need Ingress? And example. Then we will start how to set up Ingress controller using Helm. So here I have the instruction. I have copied this command from Helm official site to install Helm. So here you can visit official site, installation of installing Helm, and here are the commands. So here this command I have copied here. Now we have the ops cluster ready. First, install Helm 3 on Kubernetes cluster. Download the Helm 3 package using curl. Then change the helm.sh file.
Are you installing on the master?
No, on the COPS has a management node.
Okay, yeah, installing on the management node.
Yes.
Okay.
So here we have installed Helm 3. So when we set up this cluster on management node, your cluster configuration will be here. So ls-a will be in .q. Okay. So here cd.q, and here we have your cluster configure on your management node. So when you install any object on this management node, it detect your Kubernetes cluster from this config file. Okay. For example, you have the two COPS cluster in your AWS account. And if you replace your config from another cluster, okay, another cluster, this is a, let's assume this is a type A cluster, and you have then B cluster. Then if you add your A cluster configuration here, then it will install whatever you install package on the management node. It will detect cluster configuration. It will install to this cluster. If you replace another configuration, it will set up on that cluster, B cluster. And if you want to add multi cluster also, there is a concept. You can add multiple cluster, but you have to switch context between the cluster. You cannot do. We have to switch the context of this your configuration. Then only we can do. Okay. So when we are installing Helm, and after that, if you are installing any object on your cluster, it detect your Kubernetes configuration file from .cube, and then there is a file config. Got it? And your cluster has API version, certificate authority data, then server, then name. Here I have said you context. Here we can add multiple context. Your cluster name, user, like this one. Then client certificate data. This is your COPS cluster configs. Next. Second step, install Nginx Ingress Controller on Kubernetes using Helm 3. So same like while installing any package using apt, we have to add repository, apt repository. Same like while installing any packages, you have to add a repo of your package using help. Same like command, nothing changed. So if you go here, official site, I have copied this command from here. Helm repo add this. Okay. Helm repo add. Adding Helm repository, Helm repo update. Then stable like this one. Okay, let's use from official site. This is the old one. I will replace this command. Then Helm repo is same. Then Helm is like this. Okay. Then Helm repo update, same like sudo apt update. Then Helm install, same like sudo apt install and this command. Here we are giving this name. Fail to the name is my release. Deployed in namespace is default status deployed, and current revision number is this one. Has been installed. Then to check ingress command is kubectl get. It will create pod also for Nginx name, this one. Then kubectl get deploy. It will create deployment. Then service also kubectl get svc. And installing load balancer, it is in pending. Then to check ingress command is kubectl get ingress. Okay, there create ingress resource. So here we will get load balancer, which is in pending state. Let's wait for a few seconds. And it will give this message will give to create ingress resource. This is the format. Okay, so here format is like we have to create ingress resource like this API version, this one, whatever current one. Then kind is ingress. Then here we have in annotation, we have to give this format is given by Kubernetes official site or Ingress resource site. So here it will, if you search here, so for here format is given. So it will show, but it's not shown here. SVC here. So for our Ingress, we got one load balancer, and which exposed in 80443 port number. This is action port number. Then this is the Ingress resource format. The next we have to create deployment and service. Then we can create Ingress resource. So first we will create the two deployment. For one is the Nginx for Nginx app, and one more. Okay. This one, okay, we'll try first one, only one. Then you can create custom one if you have the Docker image. For now we don't have. So here we'll create deployment. Let's save this. This is additional app, and you can add your custom image if you have here. Okay. Then we have the service. Nginx service. Here we have the one deployment and one service. We will create this deployment and service. Command is kubectl apply -f deploy. Then same like service. Then here we can check pod deployment and service kubectl get pods. Get deploy. Okay. Then service. So as per diagram, for now we have this one. Okay. Now we have to create this Ingress resource. So here I have given two reference to file, one for Nginx deployment and service, and one more for Node.js. You can try. Right now we don't have image Node.js service. Now deployment pod service are showing. Next is creating Nginx resource and exposing the app. So Ingress resource is nothing but just YAML file. There we add our service name. So let's create Ingress resource. and this is the format network. This one in Ingress name is, let's check name. And here we have the only one, so we will add this field here only. Name is Nginx Ingress, namespace is default, and here is Ingress class is Nginx, and then we are adding this domain name. So here we have the domain name not info dot in. Then our service name is Nginx web. Let's verify. And by default path is root and port number is 80, and it will detect service name. So let's save here. Let's verify which is a service. kubectl. Yes, we see Nginx web. That only we have added here. Service name and port number is 80, and we have given this domain name. Nginx app, and this is my domain name. And let's apply this ingress resource file command. It's kubectl apply -f and Nginx ingress. Uh, 11 did not find expected. So here we are getting this error. Host and HTTP. Okay. HTTP is below the H. Not below the P. Backend. Let's save this. Okay, ingress created, and to check ingress resource command is kubectl get ingress. And here we can see by default, so it automatically detect your ingress install on your cluster. So here we have installed Nginx Ingress and given the name detect this class Ingress Nginx. So it detects Nginx Ingress on your cluster. Then he found that this Ingress resource has one load balancer. Automatically, when we create Ingress resource, automatically this assign this load balancer to your microservice. Okay, and port number we have given 80. So next, to point this domain, go to GoDaddy. This is our domain name. Then add the record. And here we have to select CNAME. Then name is Nginx. What is my microservice name? Nginx app. Then value will be your load balancer. And time will give 600. Then hide record. Is updating record. Okay. Then let's copy this domain name. Go to your browser. Run it. Okay, so here we can see your microservice page. So we have exposed our microservice using Nginx Ingress Controller on port 80. So same like if you have the multiple microservice, then just only you have to add this portion. After rules, host this one. And how your microservice is routing, where is the main code, port number, your service name should match. So here we can add multiple service, and this will expose, use same load balancer for all your microservice.